to Haunted West. This is a ballad of weird West tales, and I am your Balladeer London Carlisle. So, welcome here. We got a great game planned for you all tonight. We have an equally great cast of characters here that we're going to be playing with. And as I mentioned, this is Haunted West. This is a tabletop role-playing game shining the light of truth on the Old West by Chris Spivey and crew. Now, this is a game about hope through struggle. It takes place in sort of an alternate history, America right after the Civil War, but it amplifies the voices of a lot of people who are often overlooked in this time. I know we're all familiar with the TV and movie westerns of old that sort of overlooks, as I mentioned, the way the West really looked. So we take that and we take the haunted aspect, we take the weird aspect and smash those two together for a very fun time. Now, without further ado, let's just start and go around and see who we have at this wonderful table here tonight. Let's start with Kienna. Please, who are you? Who are you playing?
Hello, everyone. I'm Kienna, also known as Kienna Shaw on the internet. My pronouns are she and they, and I'm very excited to be here. And I'm very excited to be playing Shang Zhao Young, who is our libertine. And if we don't know what libertine means, it just means someone who hedonist is their job, basically. That's what they do. So, so I'm a super, and her pronouns are she and her, so I'm very excited to be here.
Great. Welcome to the West. We're going to mosey on over to this mysterious stranger next to me over there. Who is that under that hat? And who are you playing tonight?
I'm Kelly. My pronouns are she, her. I am playing your gunfighter, Adeline Templeton. And I'm sure that we're not going to get in any fights. So I'm going back to sleep.
Exactly. And last, but certainly not least, who do we have right below you?
Hey everyone, my name is DeAngelo Murillo, and I am a writer, game designer, doing whatever I can to organize events to help the community with diversity and inclusion. And today I will be playing Chavo. Bishop is what his friends call him, Hernandez, who is a practitioner, aka Brujo, and he's a bit of a writer too. We read some quality content.
Interesting. Well, we hope to read some of that quality content that he's writing up. I wonder what that is. We'll find out soon enough. The scenario or the bag of nails for tonight is called Prosperity. Are you going my way? Does anybody have any questions or anything they would like to say or ask before we get started here tonight?
I think that's time for us to head to the West.
Let's do it. So everyone watching, imagine you walk up and twist the dial on that TV set. As the screen roars to life, you are just in time for the latest episode of Haunted West. You see a map that looks very similar to one that might have existed right after the Civil War, but there is a couple of changes. That state doesn't quite seem familiar. Was this place real? Is that an UFO drawn on the map there? Now, your concentration on these individual things is broken by letters that whisk their way across the screen, almost startling you. The Ballad of Haunted West, starring as the scene changes. We see this figure as the name DeAngelo. He sort of goes across the screen. Please introduce your character. What do we see them doing? What do they look like? What's going on for Chavo?
Yeah, you would see Chavo doing multiple things. Number one, it would be him at a table reading the fortunes using tarot cards. That for people that are actually for money and all that kind of stuff. Helping his friends by using witchcraft of some sorts, and then also on the toilet with his pants down writing on a piece of toilet paper as creative inspiration came to him, essentially. Yeah.
What does Chavo look like?
Chavo stands about 5'6". He has a very unique style for these times, as he is wearing a prototype of what would later be called a zoot suit, as it has very pants that go all the way up to sort of his midsection with some suspenders, and he has an overcoat as well. Very loud colors. This one would particularly be purple with a yellow sort of tie and a very wide sort of brimmed hat that's sort of flat with a feather sticking out of it. And yeah.
We move on to the next scene as the scene changes. I'll let you pick. Who do we see next? What are they doing and what do they look like?
You go ahead, Adeline.
So the camera would pan across the prairie, as it were, and you see a figure with, the lovely Western coat billowing behind them in what we would call a hero coat, because we all have two. We have the regular coat, and then we have the hero coat that makes the cool effect. She is riding, you're not quite sure if it's a she at this distance, but they're riding this beautiful white horse that practically glistens in the sunlight, and they are turning around and taking a shot at something behind them. Their hat starts to get shot off their head, for which they grab it, turn around, and you could swear it looks like they lean down and start arguing with their horse.
I'm going to use your term there. We pan across the prairie, if I can say it right, to our last member of this posse. Who do we see? What do they look like? And what are they doing?
The camera pans through the swinging doors of a saloon as Shang is leaning back in one of the tables, feet kicked up, and very much scuffing the surface with the spurs. And with one hand is holding up a flask and seems to be in lively conversation as the other hand secretly sneaks into the pocket of the person sitting next to her. And it's just sliding a dollar bill or two into her silk jacket before she turns around and starts friendly conversation. None the wiser that his pockets may be a little less heavy now.
All right, before we move on, what does Shen Yao and Adeline look like?
Shang is Chinese and in her late 20s, and very much short hair and wearing this black silk jacket. It seems kind of unusually warm for here, but seems to wear it just like a second skin, and is wearing pants to make it a little bit easier.
Yes, and Adeline.
Looks like someone who figured out a few years ago that 2 braids was the easiest thing to do in the morning and has never quite given up that habit. If you pan up from her hands, which are very calloused and cut up, and you see her clothes, which were probably very fine at one point when she bought them. Now they're a bit ragged around the edges. And then as you look at her face, you realize that doesn't match the hands, because for some reason she's been very vain about the face. And given that she is this pale, she has made sure to keep her hat on the whole time she's on the prairie. She's about 6 feet tall, so I think she's probably the tallest of our crew. And she's still arguing with her horse.
The Ballad of Haunted West. Now we find the posse on board a Union Pacific train at 9:32 a.m. en route to Prosperity, a thriving multicultural settlement welcoming anyone with no place to call their own. The once all-black town struggled in the wake of the Civil War, but the cattle drives infused Prosperity with a second wind, and the developing trains to meet them gave another injection, making it a town on the rise once more. In fact, it is the center of a debate regarding the fastest route for the trains to take once a strike has been settled. So it's either going to be through Prosperity or along the Lone Tree Pass. However, someone has been raiding trains and shipments near the town. Ernest Turk, an old friend of the posse, asked you all to find out who is behind these raids. If the posse is unsuccessful, Union Pacific will have no choice but to divert the construction of a new rail line from Prosperity, which will displace a lot of exodusters, who are the blacks who fled the South during the Reconstruction, and immigrants from a safe haven that represents freedom, diversity, and equality for all people. So you will have to depart the train at the nearest Hell on Wheels, which is a collection of sort of shoddily thrown together gambling houses, saloons, brothels that followed railroad workers westward. And from there, you'll ride your trusty steeds on to prosperity. The morning sunlight casts a golden glow through the windows around you, hitting the warm wood paneling and deep green seats of the train car. Despite a really rough and bouncy ride, the train is full of families and people from all walks of life. With 2 hours to go before you reach this Hell on Wheels, reach the train station there, what would you like to do as you ride together?
I like to think that Adeline has kicked back. She's got her hat down over her face, but she is listening as Bishop is currently reading different paragraphs of his works of art to her for editorial, guidance, given that she may or may not have gone to some schools that would give her that option of knowing how to edit things. And you're pretty sure she's paying attention, Bishop? Maybe.
See, like, the thing I'm confused with is, do you feel like an ant centaur could be seductive and alluring? Like, that's...
I think that really depends on one thing, Bishop. What is it doing with its legs? It's got 6 of them.
True. What if we... Oh, I got it.
Well, no, it's got 8. Oh, my God. So... ant centaur, is it going to have a human upper half and like an ant lower half, or a human lower half and an ant upper half? Because that's going to change the entirety of this conversation.
Oh, true. I didn't think about that. You know what? I think there's room for both. I think there's room for top ant, bottom human, and top human, bottom ant. I think that's good. But all the booties will clap every time they walk. So I think this is perfect. Thank you.
I'm not here to yuck anybody's yum, so sounds good to me.
And he immediately scrawls like, this is golden genius.
She kicks back a little bit as he starts writing with a grin under her hat that you could almost swear was her quite pleased with herself.
So as this conversation is happening, there is a violent rock from the train as it sort of moves its way along the rail lines here. There is a staff member on board who says, I am so sorry, everyone. There's a lot of government pressure to get this fixed. It'll be fixed within a couple of months. The rains won't always be this turbulent. The trains won't. Some shaking. Whew, I can't do this all day. He wipes his brow. There is this, you can see the residue of sweat just being wiped away, flicks it to the side, and makes his way back down this sort of cramped walkway between this packed car.
Yeah, so I think as he's walking past, Xiang will just kind of hold out her hand, don't stress about it, really. It's just, we can feel it radiating off of you, and we knew what we were signing up for when we got the tickets here.
Okay, well, I'm glad you're okay with it. I'm still getting used to it. I mean, they better get this fixed sooner or later. But
are you new here?
Oh, yeah. Could you tell?
Not really. Not until you said that. At least you hold yourself up like a seasoned veteran.
Well, thank you. I try to stay professional at all times. I'm not nervous or anything.
Oh, no, of course not. Definitely not nervous at all.
No, not nervous at all.
How about, I heard that hydration is real good for lowering that high anxieties, and she just holds out her flask to him.
Oh, you see his eyes widen.
Just one sip ain't gonna change your professionalism, don't you think?
You mind?
Go ahead. I offered it to you.
He reaches for the flask. He takes it. Takes, after looking around for a second, a quick swig. Hands it back to you. And despite the rocking of the train, it's almost as if his body just stills. He's cool. He's collected almost instantaneously. He doesn't drink much. So you can see this sort of settle over him as he says, yeah. Yeah.
Good man.
They'll get it fixed. I mean, hey, they don't even know which way the tracks are going permanently yet. Need anything? Please holler. He nods at you before heading to another car.
You making friends and influencing people again?
I mean, I may have a gun, but I'm not as good as that, and I'm definitely not a writer. So I do what I do.
How much lighter was his pocket when he walked by you?
Sean just gives a very small, sly little smile, and will hold up the pocket watch that this poor train person had.
Nice.
We're gonna eat tonight. Yes.
I'll allow it. So again, you're heading to Prosperity, right? There has been lots of sort of train robberies happening around this time. So perhaps it wasn't even the rocking that made this guy nervous. Perhaps it was sort of like the threat of robbery that's been happening. But it's been an uneventful trip thus far. You're about 2 hours away from your stop. Is there any way that you like to pass the time or anything you'd like to do as the scenery moves past you on the outside?
While I assume Bishop continues to regale us with stories of absolute delight, Adeline is going to lean forward to the empty car seat in front of her and finally, admit she's not sleeping. And she's going to strip her gun out and just clean it while she's listening to weird stories about ant centaurs and how they happened.
All right, cool. Do you keep your gun fully loaded?
Unless I'm cleaning it, yes.
Okay.
There is, it's gonna, well, actually, it depends. If I know I'm in for a fight, yes. If I don't know I'm in for a fight, I got 5 bullets in because I do not have one in the chamber unless it needs to be.
So as you're cleaning it, it's all empty there. As you finish that, what's the state of the gun? Asking for reasons.
Well, once she gets it back together, I guess the best description could be dependable. You can tell this is a weapon that she's had with her for quite a long time. She handles it kind of like an old friend. And it seems to have an understanding with her. But it's not shiny. It's not flashy. It just gets the job done.
Got it. Awesome. So, Chavo, is there anything you're doing to pass the time here on this uneventful ride?
I think he would take a break from writing a little bit and then see. And you said you were stripping your gun, right? Or yeah. And then he kind of looks like, oh, that's true. Do I need to like clean this? As he just waves his sawed-off shotgun sort of around
There's a kid a couple seats ahead of you, and he just looks back. He's looking at you like this.
Oh, you want to play with it? And then,
no.
And he reaches, loaded. But his mom smacks his hand down, and he turns around.
The mom slaps the hand down. Adeline reaches up and just takes it and points it towards the ceiling, and then very gently takes it away from Bishop.
Oh man,
yes, you need to clean this. And what have I told you about this little thing on the side here? Do you remember?
That's how to reload it.
When Mr. Safety Catch is not on, Mr. Shotgun is not your friend.
Got it. I should write that down, actually.
You probably should write that down somewhere between the ants sleeping with the humans.
It's true. And everyone should be sweaty. That was a good line. And then he like puts it back down.
Adeline starts taking apart his gun and cleaning it, which is probably disgusting.
Choice, you're the best.
And Shang, how are you passing the time?
I think that she's sitting across from Bishop, and so like probably has her feet up, but like kind of crossing Bishop's just so that she has a place to rest it. And her gun, her rifle is just propped up to the side. It was cleaned some time ago. It's functional, but she's not taking the time to really go over it right now. And instead, I think that she's just kind of like looking at all of the people that are in this car, just seeing who they are, what types of walks of life they're coming from, where they might be heading. Just, an observant eye.
An observant eye. Okay, cool. So are you looking to observe using your observation? Is that what you're
I would love to do that. I would love to see who's with us on this train, if there's anyone interested.
Okay, cool. Yeah, please do that.
Cool. Let me find that skill in here somewhere. There it is. Boop. Success.
Okay. Cool. Interesting. So
who's interesting about here? What's interesting?
So something that you should all know is that we have some jacks in play now. Jacks are the currency of Haunted West. So for every sort of, I believe it's like, tens percentage that you succeed by, you're going to get a jack, which is currency that you can use at the moment to garner more information, more success in that moment, or you can float those jacks on down the river to use them later, to spend a jack to succeed on something, or, to sort of increase your chances at succeeding on something. So would you like to use your jacks now? If so, how many would you like to use? How many would you like to keep?
I would like to pry a little more information out of you. So I will use 2 jacks to get some more information, and I will hold on to 3.
All right, 2 jacks, and you're going to hold on to 3. So you have a very observant eye as you're looking around there, and you notice there's families here, right? There's people of all shades, of all sorts. But it's a little weird that there's several people that look a little too similar, right? There's a few men here, 6 with your eye. You see that they all have similar guns and half pulled up bandanas that block part of their face. Now, your posse doesn't notice this, but you do. Do you say anything?
Oh yeah, and this is absolutely I think that she still with her legs on Bishop's legs will like kind of sit up a little bit more and like lean down and in as if to look at the manuscript. And then she'll be like, looks like we got some friends here. The bandana hiding, not the fun kind of wrong type of people.
Well, they do make it easy when they point themselves out, now don't they?
Well, I mean, anyone can wear a bandana. It doesn't necessarily mean they're bad guys. Am I right?
Oh, they're
woman
bad
could be
guys. These are probably the same kind of people who would say, we won't wear a bandana in public if there's a dust storm, but as soon as they want to do something awful, they put a bandana over their face.
True.
True. I love the quote.
Yeah, and I think Sean will just like point out like verbally, like, okay, there's a couple over on the 2 rows down. There's one that's all the way at the other end, and we'll just like kind of verbally point out where all of them are without looking in their direction.
Adeline is going to very quietly, with her hands still down, put that 6th bullet in her gun.
Ooh, yes. So as the camera zooms in on that 6th bullet being loaded, almost just as it clicks into place, There's another rocking of the train. But whereas the other rockings have sort of stopped suddenly, this one continues. For a split second, you all realize you're in the middle of an explosion. What is your immediate reaction as you can feel there being some sort of bomb that has gone off, rocking the train? What's your instinct?
Didn't you say there was a little kid?
Yeah.
Adeline will jump forward and cover the top of the kid and his mom, like stand over them.
Okay, cool. So you're running up there. It's just only a couple of rows ahead of you. It's easily done.
Which also puts her a little bit in a better position to do things.
Yeah. So they spill out into the aisle, and you're able to sort of just get right on top. Protection as you dive over there. Okay. Anyone else? What's your first instinct?
I will grab my manuscript and hold it like gold and just be like, ah! As
okay,
rock back and forth.
Yeah. You're bracing, right? You brace, so you don't even spill out into the to the aisle there. Okay, great. Anything else?
Shang always herself first, and so she goes and ducks for cover.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So as you also brace and get down for cover there, you feel the train come to a stop. As those figures that were pointed out earlier, they mask up. You start hearing screams as one of them says, "All right, now, everybody, listen to me. Weapons out in the aisles and no one gets hurt. We want valuables, jewelry, coins, cash. Now," is what you hear. Now, you see people that have their guns. They're sort of, carefully placing them out in the aisles, sometimes on top of people that have fallen out. They're getting up, getting back in their seat. If they have any weapons, they're placing them down. You see knives coming out, being placed on the ground. And you see other people just terrified as they come from person to person, waving their guns at these innocent people, shouting, demanding, stealing. What do you all do?
Well, this might cause some trouble. I'm just warning you. So I'm not quite sure how it works in this game, but I'm sure you'll tell me. As they come closer to the woman and child that Adeline has stood up to cover, which conveniently has put her back to them, as she starts to stand up to her full height, she says, "It's a little odd, don't you think, asking for cash and coin? Which one do you want? Do you want cash or do you want coin?"
"We want anything, and you won't get hurt if you just give us something of value."
I mean, I can give you an education.
Now, sounds like somebody has a sense of humor. And somebody is a hero, as he looks at the woman and child.
I mean, you could say that. And here's where I said I don't know how this works in this game. Adeline is going to turn around with her gun that's already ready, and she's going to immediately do a mechanic that she is not sure how it works.
Cool.
Which is called a fan shot.
Oh, fanning, yeah.
She is going to shoot from the hip and immediately fan all 6 bullets out, trying to get as many of them down as possible.
Okay, cool.
I mean, I did say I was going to give him an education.
Yes. All right.
Hopefully, if my rolls don't go Kelly's way as normal.
Okay, cool. I must remind you, you are in this sort of crowded train car, right? So there are other people around, intermixed with these bandits. So keep that in mind.
I'm in mind.
All right, cool. So for a fanning, let me pull up those mechanics for you, and we can go over them together. Let's see here.
It is an interesting percentage mechanic, I believe.
Indeed. All right. Oh, and lucky for us, we have Chris Spivey, the author of this, in the chat, who is able to help with any sort of rules things if we have them, hopefully. But also, if you have any questions, if you're watching this live on Twitch. Pull that up.
All right, I have the mechanic up.
Gotcha.
Single action revolver can perform the fanning maneuver. They hold the firearm in one hand while the other hand repeatedly fans the revolver. That's how the gun works. Before firing, I state how many shots they're going to take. 6.
Yes.
Then it makes one call to represent all shots fired. Each shot imposes a negative 5%. Whatever that means. I don't do math. I went to music school. If successful, representing the method's inaccuracy, the damage done is divided evenly between all the targets.
So each shot -5, so 30, right? From that firearms roll that you have there. All right. So if you want to make that
negative
roll,
5%, not -5. Come now.
right? Percent,
Okay.
yeah, percent.
All right.
So
Just want to make sure you're not being mean to me for no reason.
No, 5%, of course.
I'm gonna be sad.
All
All right.
right.
So what do I have to roll for you, good sir?
All right. So there on your character sheet, there should be let me find this for you. It's on the main character sheet.
Oh yes, you just
here.
shifted my sheet for me. Thank you.
Yeah, yes. Cool. So we're getting let's see.
Oh, and there was one other thing that I was wondering if I could use with this, but I don't know if it's going to quite work.
What is that?
That's the grit mechanic. I believe it does something good for me, but it might not
Yeah.
work since I'm already doing something else.
Yeah, grit is also something you can spin. You can spend it, you can burn it. It can add sort of percentage to your skill level and such as well.
I would like to spend, how many do I have? I have none right now on my sheet, so
There you go.
yeah, I will spend none.
All right, cool. So, small arms would be the call for this.
Small arms. Where are you, my friend? Where are you, my friend? Seriously, I can't find
And
you.
reflex is short arms, actually. Yeah.
I was gonna say I don't have. All right, here we go. Let us be sad when I die.
Okay, so 89 minus the 30, since you're doing that fanning shot there. You have to get a 59, and you do. So please roll your damage. That'll be your gun there, that 44 Smith & Wesson you have there, which is a D10.
That is going to be 1d10, which I don't click apparently. I just roll. Grand total of 5 between 6 people. So have fun with that.
All right, cool. So how do you want to split that up? Sort of one each?
Let's just say that that one of them is going to be really scared by the end of it. So there's going to be 1 each for 5 of them, including the guy who's right on top of me. He's probably going to get the most accurate shot because he's right in front of me. I like to say that he's probably got a new forehead decoration at this point. But the rest of them, yeah. And then whoever's the furthest away is the one that she's hoping to intimidate with this show.
Oh,
is it
yes.
the damage? Oh, wait a second. Is it the damage of 6 bullets divided by 6 targets?
Damage of 6 bullets divided by 6 targets?
Well, I don't know, Chris. Is it which one? That's true. That otherwise it is way less strong. That is correct.
Yeah.
Chris? So it's 1 roll, not 6.
Right. No, each person takes 1 damage.
Okay.
According to Chris.
Oh, okay. So it's 1d10. Okay. I was going to say it would be a little bit weird if it was the jacks would add to the damage.
Yeah, the jacks would add to the damage, but since that was cut down from that 89 to 59, yeah, cool. But so you were able to hit with precision accuracy each of these bandits on this train as they are struck. It's almost as if they're just surprised to have been sort of resisted in this moment, and they all sort of look to the main one that was shouting, and he has this fear just in his eyes, behind his eyes, as he's looking around. All right, and let's get out of here. And they grab their bags that they have. They stop demanding from people, and they are just trying to get out of the car now. Each of them. They're all sort of rushing down the aisle, trying to just book it for the back of the train. What do you do?
I mean, that was my full actions. I don't do much. I don't do much except say, I hope you enjoyed your educational lesson today.
Well, Chavo or Bishop was like in the middle of like removing his jewelry to like give to the bandits, and then he was like, "Oh, we're fighting," and then like, like, yeah, you better run.
Yeah, and they're trying to book it out of there. They even see you sort of even taking it off or putting it back on. They're not even going to worry about it. They're heading out as fast as they can.
Yeah, I think Xiao at this point will like kind of pop up from where she took cover as if like nothing had happened, and then start like kind of following them down just at a leisurely pace, just like following them down the car just to see where they go. Yeah, okay. And it's not even like running the chase after them. It's just like this casual walk.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So again, you heard them speaking. There's like a sort of like a deep Southern drawl for most of their voices. Just like, all right, get out of here. We got to go. Let's go. And they're heading out. May I have an observation call from everyone?
Love rolling observation. Love to see stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Love to perceive. Success.
Okay.
I have a 19 in that, so we're just gonna see how this goes.
An ace success. Nice.
Yeah, 84. I did not do very well.
Okay. All right. So then we have some good successes here, though. So what I will tell you from that, would you like to use these jacks now, Adeline, or would you like to save any? You have 3.
I will unmute myself first. I would say I would use one of them now just to see if it gives me any help there.
Okay, yeah. So something that you would notice is that this is a group, they've had at least years of experience working.
You meant
together.
Adeline and not Xiang, right?
Oh, right.
Right, okay.
Just
want to make sure.
Yeah, because you had the 3 jacks.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I just want to make sure since Xiang was the one following them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you would notice, from where you were, they're not just a ragtag group, right? They've had years of experience working together. So when one spoke, the others listened. They knew what to do when they were going out. As Xiang is following, how many jacks would you like to spend?
I don't think I'm going to spend any jacks just because that ace success is real good. I like having that.
Okay, yeah. So as they are moving towards the back of the train, you're noticing that there are more bandits in other trains. And there's probably at least 15 of them throughout this train as they're gathering up. And now they're leaving. They're heading towards the back. They're hoping to get off of this train and hopefully just ride away.
Cool. So I'm gonna keep following them until they get off the train. Basically, I want to know what direction they're heading.
Okay, cool. So you, again, you're at a leisurely pace. They are running ahead. There is a door that closes. You can tell you're probably about maybe 2 cars or so from the back. The livestock car is sort of in the back. That's where all the horses are. If they have horses, they're probably there. They're going to get on them, ride off. But what happens before then is that the one that closes the door as he sees you walking your way, you stay back. Stop walking so purposefully. If you want to come,
I'm walking.
We got a present for you. If you want to keep on following us. And he slams the door.
She's going to walk over to the door.
Okay. All right. You're going to go walk up to the door?
Yeah. I'm just going to walk up to the door.
All right. Okay. So it turns out this door, as you open it, was rigged with nitroglycerin to explode if open. May I have a reflex test from
Great. You? I love this for me. Reflex. Not great. I'll tell you that. A success. Great. Thank God.
Good night. A 2 versus a 12. Please describe what it looks like as you catch this before it falls on the ground and explodes.
Xiang had made her way into doors that she shouldn't have many a time. And she's very familiar with the way that, different latches should feel and how like the weight of the door should feel when you try to slide it open as sneakily as possible. And I think that she feels the catch and the extra weight on this door, and that's just enough to tell her to let go.
Yep. So yeah, again, this goes off. You have this, you're able to completely sort of disarm this thing before it hits the ground, exploding this car. That was amazing. That's why the audience watches this TV show. So you do things like this all the time, and you're able to open that door, make your way to the caboose where you can see about 20, I would say, 20 or so riders riding off into the distance. They gallop off. There is this big cloud of dust that makes its way through the air as the train still sits there, and they get smaller and smaller and smaller as they disappear around the bend.
Cool. What general direction were they heading?
Cool, yeah. So again, you're headed west. It looks like they were, heading the opposite direction. They're heading east before they sort of snake their way north around this bend.
Cool. Great. Yeah, so Sean will turn around and then look at that door with the nitroglycerin on it, and then decide that, you know what, maybe she should take the long way around, and she'll like literally exit the caboose like through the back and like walk around to the other car if we're stopped anyways. So yeah, so I think that she'll like climb back into the car from the side door, and then slide back into her seat.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that she'd look for her new friend. That's a little pocket watch, Liz, in this car.
You see that guy again. He has like sort of like curly hair on top of his head, a long face, and he is like, "Well, holy shit!"
Yeah. Well, I would recommend that you tell everyone not to go into the caboose because it's a little bit big to explode right now.
Okay. Well, thank you for telling me that, and give your traveling partner our thanks. That was amazing. I was so afraid that would happen, and it did, but then y'all ran him off. That was amazing. And hopefully we can make it to the station in time. He goes to reach for his watch. I might have dropped it when we were rocking around.
Yeah, or might have been picked up by one of those ruffians.
Curse those ruffians. Again, I'll see if we can get moving very shortly, but thank you again, truly.
Well, it's the least that we can try to do when we can try to do things. And we'll pat him on the back.
You almost knock him over as you hit him, but then he keeps on going. All right. As the posse reconvenes in the car, people are picking themselves up. People are sort of applauding. People are sort of crowding around you, just giving you their thanks as they wait for the train to start up. It's kind of going through your minds right now. What's going on?
I'm fastening Bishop's bracelet back on his wrist.
And Bishop will like wave around his sawed-off shotgun, like, "Are we murdering?" As
no, we are done with the murder.
Is this loaded? As he looks down the barrel.
Adeline takes it from him, puts it over her arm, pops it open, and pops out the shells. No, it is not loaded. And then she gives it back.
Well, thank you. That was really cool of you, by the way. That was awesome. Gonna be in the novel for sure.
You know what? Put me somewhere. You know what? Just don't put me somewhere in between anything. No.
Got it. Oh, put 3 ponytails instead of 2, and that'll be different. So
you know what? I'm sure it'll be completely, when this gets published someday.
Paranormal romance is a thing. I'm telling you, like people are gonna love it. So
I do not say that you're wrong. Sean, you should probably give that guy his watch back. That was kind of mean. She's saying out of the side of her mouth as Xiang comes back.
Yep. And I think Sean will just like sit back down. Don't go into the caboose. Friend left a gift. An explosive one.
Well, I guess we just wait until we get to prosperity. We're going to have to report this at some point.
Indeed. Prosperity is quite a long ride away. If you would like to sort of, from where you are right now, you can make a long haul towards Prosperity, or you can wait for the train to start up, go to the station about 2 hours away, and then ride from there to Prosperity, which is a little shorter, but you can do either option.
Well, how long do you think the train's going to be stopped, Xiang, since you're such good friends with the conductor over there?
Well, they seem a little bit frazzled, I guess is the best way to put it. So who knows? Could be a few minutes, could be a few hours. I say thanks, by the way, for all your heroics.
What heroics? And she tips her hat forward and leans back on the chair. I mean, we could stay here, or we could ride the horses.
Forward, leaning back on the chair.
We could just ride the horses. They're probably getting antsy. No, not antsy. Nope, that's not the right word. Bishop, put the pen down.
I like it.
No.
I love it. I love it and I hate it. I love it and I hate it.
I mean, I'm just saying that if it takes a few hours to get the train going again, and then a few hours to get to Prosperity, we might already be 3/4 of the way to Prosperity. And also, in a much more open space, the next time Bishop tries to decide if we're murdering people.
You know what? That's a fair assessment.
To my credit, I cried less this time. So, you
know what? Less is better. Less is better.
I think Xiang just like looks over to see if the handkerchief had been used at all.
It was used.
Yeah. Right, let's skedaddle out of here then. Might as well keep an eye out for any other troublemakers.
Let's go find the horses then. And Adeline will stop to make sure that the mother and kid are okay. She's like, sorry, I used you as a diversion there, ma'am. I really didn't mean to. And you'll notice that when she's not talking with her posse, her language is possibly a little more refined when she's dealing with people that would respect that a little bit more.
Oh, well, that's quite okay. Thank you for looking after us. And wow, you are an amazing shot. Where did you learn to do
All
that?
right, we're just going to leave now.
Oh.
And she just keeps walking.
As you're walking, you on sort of like your pants there, you can feel like a tug as the kid has run up to you and he's looking. I want to be just like you when I grow up.
I do not recommend that. But you're welcome to try.
He just laughs at you.
And she awkwardly like reaches out and pats him on the head because she's seen other people do that to children and she assumes that's what you do with children.
You disembark from the train, head over to the livestock car where your horses are waiting on you. Who is your horse, Adeline?
Well, my horse is, as aforementioned, beautiful, like gorgeous, beautiful. If you've ever seen those pictures on the interwebs of those beautiful, shiny horses that look like they fell from heaven, this is my horse. He is completely white. He's got a serviceable saddle on. He's probably a little upset that it's not fancy, but he's beautiful, and unfortunately, he knows it. And his name is Binky.
Binky, the white horse.
Binky.
All right, cool. What about the other horses? Who else do we have?
Yeah, we've got a very chill horse who has kind of like this brown, almost golden hued hair, clearly well taken care of. And when Xiang goes up to him, it's pretty obvious that like she looks way more disheveled than the horse does. The horse has better care than she does in terms of appearance. She doesn't really care about herself. She's like, okay, I gotta take care of the horse, but myself. And his name is Goldie, and he's a sweetheart.
Now, both Goldie and Binky, they're both very beautiful. Binky has sort of like a social disposition, can always be seen by a Goldie side as Goldie with this beautiful mane, sort of, again, it waves in the wind, trots over to you and just sort of lowers his head, nudging at you there. Very happy to see you after the truly rough ride. We got one more horse here. Sort of the way I would describe this horse is intuitive. Bishop's horse takes a minute before they would even approach, as they deep down know that you've just entered into a new era of danger. Please describe your horse for us, Bishop.
Absolutely. So, Bishop's horse is named Domingo, and it's unfortunately obese because Domingo loves animals and children and old people. So he overfeeds his horse, and it's just like, and he's just like, oh, who's my baby girl? As he like goes and greets Domingo, and like and Domingo has a bow on in his like, and yeah.
Yes.
Is anyone going to tell him, Xiang? Like, have we decided if we're ever going to tell him that Domingo is a boy, and he still calls it baby girl? I mean,
he's been taken care of.
You know what? Given some of the things he writes, I'm not sure that it matters anyway. So
I don't think so either. I think we should be more worrying about the fact that the sugar cubes keep disappearing.
Yeah. His horse is looking a bit rotund.
He's literally stealing horse sugar cubes as you're like
just like take it from the other saddle.
We have told you to use carrots. Carrots are better for Domingo.
It messed with his stomach, as her stomach. Gender's fluid, and
we love Domingo.
Poor London thought he was going to be telling a serious story.
Me?
I mean, okay, but I'm not going to be able to help you onto Domingo every time, she says as she puts her hands down for Bishop to step into.
You're the best, thank you. As he like immediately gets up.
There you go.
All right, so if we're going to head on over to Prosperity, we are going to need to find our way there. So I'll give you all a choice. If you would either like to make a navigation roll or a tracking roll, you could do either of those. Give me either one of those calls.
I am useless at this.
Same. I have 19 navigation and 0 tracking.
I guess it's up to me then.
Yeah, I got 0 in both.
All right. So we are going. Stop moving my character sheet. London.
So if there's nothing filled in on your sheet, you could. I don't think that was me. That's somebody else.
No.
The ghost. It's the haunted West. Ooh.
Okay. So you said tracking.
Yeah, tracking or navigation. And if you don't have anything filled in there, there is sort of a base that's not filled in, so you can still roll it and see if.
I have a thing.
Yeah.
I failed.
Chris pointed out that you can also use jacks for successes. So
Yep. An automatic.
Oh, I
success.
still have 2, so I will use 1.
I got 100.
100 jacks. Come on now. Okay, cool. So so a success for you by spending one of your jacks.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. What about everybody else?
Shang is happy to let the others do their thing. She doesn't know the Wild West
Okay.
survivalism.
Yeah.
And Bishop is breathing with his mouth open, thinking of new ideas as he gets he needed a 19 or lower, but he got 100. So
Oh no. Adeline is leading the charge here for sure. In order to try to make it to prosperity today. Lucky for you, you are able to do so. It's almost as if the elements around you are just, at one with your sort of keen instincts, observational skills, or your reflexes. It all sort of can tap into the nature that's out there. You're out here roughing it on the wide open plains. Now, there is a breathtaking view around you, and eventually the sun is high in the sky. Over time, it moves. Over time, it sets. You might be new to this region. You might be unsure of your surroundings, but you're making it. You are truly on your way to prosperity. Now, with your horses there, one of the first things you see upon reaching the outskirts of prosperity this evening are the outlying farms and ranches with fields of growing crops. There are other horses here and other people, working the land. Now, the town itself, it's like a bunch of pretty finely crafted wooden buildings. There's shops lining the main road, able to provide whatever you're looking for there. And there's almost like a constant hum of activity as this evening sets in here. There's people of all ages. They're wandering the streets, going to and fro, but it feels busy and packed and like it's still growing. You know what I mean? Like this, as I described the game, this is a hopeful place. Like you can tell it's on the up from here. If you all can, show up and really stop these raids from happening around it. So there is livery where you're able to go and sort of drop off your horses, make sure that the horse posse is well taken care of. The person there, she is a woman of mixed race, of white and African American heritage. She has sort of a light colored skin with a reddish tint to her curly hair and these like deep freckles in her face. She's probably in like her 40s, I would say. She sees you coming. She's welcome. Come inside. Please bring everybody in. Beautiful horses, she says, as she takes care of you all. How long you staying?
Well, we got some work to do here, so we're not quite sure, actually. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, that's good. If you need anything, my name is Lucille. Your horses are safe here.
Okay, just be careful with this one. And you can tell it's that kind of adversarial affection that one has. Like they have an understanding when things have to get done, they are in sync, but otherwise it's basically like siblings fighting each other. And so she kind of reaches up and rubs Binky's nose. He may bite if you don't brush him first.
He just sort of nods, but then sees other horses around and looks at you as almost a permission to go and just greet the other horses around.
You can socialize, but remember what I said about the lady horses.
With that,
I took care of that, friend. You cannot.
With that, he just looks over at Bishop, looks at the little notebook the Bishop has.
Oh my God, choice content.
And then trots off.
My horse is smart.
The horse can read, apparently.
You'll get your royalties, I swear to
you. All right. You were in town to meet up with Ernest Turk. He's an old friend of yours. He's in his early 20s. He is actually a veteran. He lost his right arm in the war. But how do you all know him? Did he assist on any prior adventures or anything like that? Perhaps any towns you saved or any other sort of things like that?
I think that he probably gave us a safe house to stay in when we ran into a bit of trouble on a previous job. Didn't ask any questions, was happy to hide us out until we were able to get better bearings and get the better of our enemies there. As we were hiding out, got to know him a little bit better, found some commonalities.
Gotcha. Yeah, indeed. So I'm going to give you, if I can, let's see if there's a Prosperity Town map that I'm going to show you all, just so you can kind of get your bearings around here. So this is what the town looks like. You can see it's it's a growing place. This place, if you can imagine people sort of moving all the way through it, people seeing what there is to do on a night like this. It's very busy, it's very buzzing, it's very growing. And you can find Ernest. He told you all he would be working at the hardware store. So there is a hardware store in town. Let me find the point for that. So number 10 on your map. I'll flag that for you. Number 10. Right here.
I promise I'm not looking at you
town.
scroll through all of those names on your Roll20, which I'm probably not supposed to be seeing.
You see, where is that?
On the overlay. I just won't watch it. I can see you scrolling through all the character sheets.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I see it too. Yeah.
Yep.
I don't even see this. I
gotta be careful.
I
It's
can't
on the
even
Twitch stream. Yeah, it's on the Twitch stream.
On the Twitch stream.
Where is this at?
I don't know, but I saw a couple names I recognize that I will immediately out of my head.
Oh, got it.
Ah. Hey, Simon.
There's the background voice of our producer.
It's God.
God? Yeah.
God, hello.
All right. Well, instead, you don't see names. You see number 10, which is Levin's Hardware. It's a large building. Inside, it's filled with hardware, tools, woodworking things, pretty much anything to fulfill most folks' needs here. It's ran by Stan and Sarah Levin. They're white siblings who run the store. But your friend Ernest, he's been helping out. They are busy at the moment. He has been, sort of stocking things here and making sure that everything is in order. And as you see him, again, he gives you a nice wave. His nose looks a little, it's like a crooked nose as you look at this. Again, a black man in his early 20s there. Sort of a sunny disposition despite, the obviously bruised and battered nose and then the missing arm from the war there. Wow, it's so good to see you all again. Wow, what have you been doing? How have you all been?
Well, interesting times as always. Had an interesting time getting here. The train might be a little late.
Oh, another robbery?
Attempted, except good old Addie over here has something else to say about that.
Yeah?
She shot like 6 dudes. It was like amazing.
Six dudes?
What do you got all in a row?
What do you got to say for yourself, Addie?
Adeline was not paying attention to the conversation. She was kind of looking around, surveying where the exits are, just in case. I did a good job.
Well, of course. I mean, we're talking about you. You dueled with the being
And
in
then
black.
we're just gonna keep going into. Is there food?
Did we not talk about that?
And she just walked right by her.
Yeah, we don't talk about that. What was it?
That is to say, Addie is real bad with compliments.
Yeah. Well, listen, I mean, Addie's the one that dueled with being in black. It's legend, it's folklore. Addie took him on. Neither of them won, but that's the thing. They say that the being will come help in the greatest time of need if you need it. There might be a catch to that, but again, legends get twisted around, but that's who you're in the company with. That's why I asked you to come here. And of course, you all have your own individual stories of your greatness, but you know what? She should be proud of herself. We need her help. We need everybody's help around here.
I think that Shaw will look over at Bishop in that kind of like, yes, us too. We're definitely the people helping here.
What? What? Don't give that look. Okay. Well, what about that town you say from that swarm of crazy insects that turned into people? They formed humans themselves before dispersing into just swarms. What about that?
I mean, we did a pretty good job there. I wouldn't say a complete job, but we did a pretty
It's a
good
passing
job.
grade. It's like
Yeah.
70%.
Yeah, enough to get going.
And it inspired great fiction as he pulls up his manuscript.
Oh, is that really it? Oh,
Mandibles.
I see. I understand now. I didn't find that sexy when they were biting me. That hurt.
Oh, just you wait.
From the other room, you hear, hot damn pie.
Addie, that's 11's pie. You can't. They're going to think that I ate it again. All right, everybody, gather around. We got some serious things to talk about. The town is in trouble. And if there's anybody that can stop what's going on and help save prosperity, it's you three. Now, y'all are true paragons. Y'all are true heroes. And I know that we're going to see a brighter day if you three have anything to say about it. Outside of town, a shambling figure walks. It clings to life. No, it clings to death. No. It's arm clinging to the rest of its body. It's barely hanging on as it hangs sort of limp. This undead figure moves slowly. Given unholy life, this thing only knows destruction. It's not alone. It doesn't know this, but the powers that be do. Its creator knows this, that there are more on the way. Its creator knows the dead are coming to prosperity. It's going to prosper no more. We're going to take a break here. And we'll be back very shortly with the continuation of part 1 of the Ballad of Haunted West. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for playing. And we'll be right back. Hello, welcome back to Haunted West. We are in the town of Prosperity. Our Paragons are here. They have ridden into town to lend some assistance. Now, there is a new railroad being built. If it is built into prosperity here, it will mean prosperity for the people around. But after a series of train robberies, Union Pacific is rethinking that. So, our friends, our Paragons here, are here at the behest of Ernest, who is going to fill them in on some of the happenings that are around. You are in Levin's hardware store here, as he sort of scratches his head, looks up with this hope in his eyes, as he begins to sort of talk about what's been going on. He looks around to each of you, says, yeah, the town has been growing pretty fast. I mean, we've got what, at least 200 new locals in the past year? I mean, that's booming. God bless the cattle drives.
That's a pretty big influx in the last year.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming that's mostly dependent on the railroad.
Yeah. People will ride in, but also just hearing about what we have here, about the kind of people that Prosperity has. You know, you can be yourself here. Anybody can start a family here. Anybody can start a business here. I mean, just look at the Levinses. I mean, they didn't have this from where they came from. And now they're building it up. Now they're making money. I'm here selling these bags of nails. And he rattles this bag around in front of your face, sets it back down. Again, this is a place of hope. And if these robberies keep happening, we're losing it. So we need you to find out who is behind these things and put a stop to it. I know you scared them off, but I fear that they might be plotting something else, or they might be holed up somewhere, or I don't even know.
Sounds like a lot of pocket watches as I look over to Jean.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Did they ever make direct raids into town?
No, nobody's ever raided the town quite yet, but it seems pointed. They've been hitting those trains for weeks, ever since this talk of where to put the railroad has happened. It's very recent.
It's very common knowledge where the railroad's going, or?
Well, they're trying to decide. It's either here, or let me read where I wrote earlier. Sorry. It's here or the Lone Tree Pass.
Does anybody stand to gain anything if it goes through Lone Tree Pass instead of here?
I mean, well, that's the thing. If the town dies again, I don't think we'll survive. We took a big hit after the war, but we're on the up, and I'm afraid that we'll go down again if this isn't stopped.
What's north of here? You know, just in the general area. Anything interesting?
Yeah. Well, so Prosperity is right between Cheyenne and Laramie. Those are the two nearest places to us that you might recognize. There is a surveyor for the Union Pacific, James Armstrong Evans. He's a white British surveyor. He was favoring the Lone Tree Pass. That is until our Mayor Hurston, and the other officials in the town had a meeting with him. And I'm guessing they swayed him to our side. He started to see the benefits of making sure that the railway goes through here. And that's when the raid started.
Interesting. Our new friends on the train, I watched them as they left, and they headed up northwards. So we have a general direction of where they were coming from, I guess, if they're retreated from what they thought would be a successful job.
Well, did you notice anything about them? Anything that we can sort of identify them by?
I mean, they all got the same make of gun. They all had the same bandana. So, clearly organized together.
Okay.
And the same bullet hole.
Yeah.
6 of them do.
Okay.
Actually, thinking back, Balladeer,
Hmm?
did they all look alike? What we could see above the bandanas?
Not identical. I mean, they were
No,
all
okay.
they were all white men.
Mhm.
There was that, different eye colors. They all sort of looked well tanned. I'll tell you that.
Okay. So
Yes.
outdoors. And did they seem to be hitting the railroad at the same spot every time?
Ernest continues. No. It's different places, but it's always around here. I mean, it's always the same line that you were on, which is just a big coincidence. Different places on it, but always heading to here.
You know that's not a coincidence.
No.
There's plenty of people who don't like, everybody having an equal say in things.
I guess so. I've seen it firsthand. The war was rough on all of us.
Yeah.
I mean, even he like rubs the side of his face. I mean, I don't know how she does it. Lucille over at the livery. I mean, I had to break the news to her that she lost everyone she loved in the war. Hell, she gave me this when I told her, as he points to his nose.
So you don't have a doctor in town to set that for you, or?
I was kind of ashamed. I don't know. It's fine. I mean, it doesn't hurt anymore. I was just, what was I going to say? The widow hit me. Am I supposed to get mad at her because she lost everybody that she knew? I mean, I don't know. It's fine. I mean, I don't look much worse than I did. I've never been quite a looker.
I think it looks great. It was just young and like,
you see a smile break across his face as he looks over at you, Bishop. Nods.
Don't smile at him too much. You'll end up in one of his books.
already like.
Oh, so you record your adventures. You record these tales of the mysterious, tales of the weird as you encounter them.
And he said in a deep, sultry tone, and you record these events. Just
Wow, that's real. London almost said Gonzo. I'm over here with the Hunter S. Thompson. That's real Gonzo of you, Bishop. But no, that's inventive, he says.
Do you know if there's anybody in town who, I hate to suggest it, but anybody who seemed a little bit more flush since these robberies started?
I have to think about it. Let me give a little roll for our good pal Ernest. 100. No, I haven't noticed any sort of change in anybody's circumstance recently. I mean, but maybe I'm not the right person to ask. Mayor Hurston is looking for someone to stop the train robbers. I mean, it's hurt in town business, obviously. And I'm just asking this as a personal favor, but I think the mayor has some bounties out as well. So if you do this, you're helping me, you're helping the town, but also you could collect the bounties from the mayor. Other than that, not that I remember.
Well, I'm not the best at talking to bureaucrats, but I do know someone who is. If they can keep their hands out of the mayor's pockets. Xiang.
I will keep them out and open. Can't promise that I won't be charming, though.
Always charming. Well, that's the thing. You can go that route. You can go to the mayor. You can go, see what they have to say. You can go to the authorities. I'm sure they, they might also have some information. You can get in with them. I don't know.
Look at the other two. I feel a little more mayoral than lawful.
Xiang fits in well with politicians. They're both very loose with the truth.
Fair enough.
I can go to the lawman afterwards if, well, there may have been some trouble in some other towns. They won't have a problem talking to me, right?
No, not at all.
Okay.
You're squared away here.
Right.
And Addie belongs with the lawmen. They're both stiff enough to be used as wood on floors.
Bishop is eating a slice of pie.
That was my pie.
That's the Lemons' pie. They're going to think that I ate it again. I didn't have a slice.
I mean, it's good pie.
It was good
And
pie.
we have been traveling for quite a while. And Bishop fed most of our rations to his horse.
Rightfully so, as he continues to eat.
Bishop, I wonder if you could maybe get some information. Do you have a local saloon or something like that?
Yeah, saloons, of course. There's plenty of places. There's places to go around and drink. Let me see if I can name some places for you here. There's this good sized gambling house. It's called the On the Trail Saloon. It's a gambling house and a hotel.
I love that franchise.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's one of them. Another place, there's a brothel in town that a lot of people pass in and out of. That's the Painted Frontier. So I'll give you those two places.
Well, I think we know where Bishop's going, and I mean, I have to say, a lot of people have, they tend to say things they don't mean to Bishop, why don't you try to go get some information and try not to talk about ant centaurs while you're there, please?
Can't promise that, as he gets another slice of pie as he walks out.
Yeah, and Addie will yell after him, and don't ask for technical details.
Hey, Bishop, hey, listen. No, I don't know if I shouldn't gossip. Never mind.
Please go ahead and gossip. He loves it.
No, stop! I couldn't. As he already pulls out an inked quill and
I just don't know if it's my place to. So, if you want to give our friend Ernest a convince, expression, or an ingratiate.
Okay, let me see. You said expression, ingratiate. Okay,
Convince, expression, or ingratiate.
We'll do expression. Let me see.
Ooh.
And he'll be talking with a mouthful of pie smeared all over his face.
He says, listen, I mean, some things are better left unsaid, but I'll just say everybody moves in and out of that place. That's all I'm saying.
I was like, oh, thank you. And then he wipes his sleeve, face with his sleeve.
All right, cool. Anything else for anybody else? Any other questions you'd like to ask Ernest, or any sort of courses of action you'd like to plot and plan?
I was muted. Addie calls after Bishop, and don't forget your cards. You know that those always make you popular.
Oh, got him right here.
Those famous cards. They say they're tied to fate itself. Now, do you mind if I ask what cards you have? I've only heard about it. They say there's only 7 decks in existence, and you got one of them right there. Well, part of one.
Well, this is a knockoff Great Value brand one, but like I do have some cards somewhere in my person. Very rare, very exclusive. Magic.
Magic. Okay. Well, I'd love to see them sometime. If you ever want to, just sort of whip one out and show me.
Don't ask him to whip one out, please.
I'm sorry.
Please. I beg you. Not again.
The cards, these cards of fate. And he leans in and whispers, the Farron cards. As his eyes light up by saying these words. But he nods that this is sort of, very esoteric. He moves back and, just sort of laughs it off.
Like, all right, I'll show you. 6 feet, 6 feet. As he waits for him to back up. Perfect. And he reaches into his underwear and pulls out like a Magic the Gathering card holder that's like very protective. And then it's like do I have to actually let me pull it?
Yeah. Let's see which 4. It was 4 cards you get. I'll give you 4 to pick. Oh, crack open my Haunted West book here to see which cards you're pulling.
6 of Hearts. That's what I got.
Hearts. All right. So with the hearts. So with this card, you can pull it out and restore a D4 of vitality or lucidity point. Each jack scored heals an additional point. In Haunted West, vitality is sort of like, your bodily health. Lucidity is more like your sort of mental health, loosely, I would say. So yeah, taking out that card, you'll be able to do that. Want to do another? Want another card?
He'll go. So question. If I use it, does it get burned and gone forever, or does it get like just a cooldown sort of thing, and then it gets used later on?
Good question. Yeah. So consume.
But see, it consumes lucidity, so I don't know if it just exhausts me, but it still exists or whatever.
It will not. It will not waste the card. You will still have the card.
Okay, perfect. Could I use the card to like stare like intently onto the dude's nose and then have it like boop, and then
Okay, so it's that'd be cool. Are you wanting to use this card now? These are just like, we're just trying to pick the 4 that you have. You can use it anytime. But if you want to use that now, you could see what else you get. See if there's something that we can use for that.
I'll use it now. Yeah.
Okay, cool. You want to pull the other 3 cards to see which one you'd like to use?
Just in case, I'll only pull out this one for now.
Okay.
He'll do like a Jareth from Labyrinth, like with the orb, except with this card, and then as he uses his magic to fix his nose.
Okay, cool. All right, roll a D4 for me.
2. That is 2.
2. All right, with 2, you're going to see the bruising around the sort of the bridge of the nose even out. Where it's very dark, it becomes more sort of chestnut color that matches the rest of the area around his nose. It moves ever so slightly back center. It's not completely crooked, but it's almost as if you can see his eyes like cross down as he's looking at his nose start to move on its own there. And it feels a whole lot better as he speaks. And my goodness, thank you. There's almost like like a tonal quality of his voice that shifts with this new sort of nasal, activity.
Like, anytime, magic, as he like shoves it back down his underwear. Goes back to the brothel.
Nice. So with that, you're using 1 lucidity doing that. All right. Okay. Anything else? Is there anything else you'd like to ask him, or anywhere you'd like to go other than the brothel?
He'll skip happily, gleefully over to the brothel. Like,
Okay.
nah, as he like over.
What about our other 2 paragons?
Yeah, I think Sean will just like pat Ernest on the shoulder. Well, will we find you here later, or where are you staying about in Prosperity if we need to, find you again?
Yeah, I have a house, but I spend most of my time over here at the hardware store, just picking up some hours, getting some money. You know how it is, just working. And it's honestly pretty easy work. And I enjoy it. 11s are a great couple. Well, not a couple. They're a couple of people, I should say. They're not together. It's not like that. But yes, here if you need me.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go make my introduction to the good mayor, and we'll see how that goes.
Great. If you walk past that post that's right in the center of town, you can find the flyer there, the bounty poster.
Bounty poster.
Yeah.
All right. And she will saunter on out.
And the great gunfighter. What about you?
She very slowly and deliberately picks up the piece of pie that got left behind when she sent Bishop off to the brothel. Well, I think I'll let them see what they come up with for now, and maybe you and I can catch up and have a chat later.
Yeah, for sure.
It's been a while.
It has. I didn't mean to offend you earlier. I mean, did
You
I?
didn't offend me. It's fine. I just don't like having things hanging over my head is all.
Yeah, I understand that. I'm a fan.
What?
I'm a fan of your skills.
Just no, please.
Okay,
no.
I know you don't take the compliments well, and I'm done with them. But thank you for coming here. That's all I'll say. All I say is thank you. Can I say that?
You can say thank you, but you better thank them too. I don't work very well on my own. They keep me lighthearted.
But man, they sure can put a beat down on some monsters.
You have no idea. And she'll just stroll out of the room while she's like biting into the pie. No fork or anything, because does not care when pie is involved.
All right. Beautiful. The Painted Frontier is the town brothel. It's one of Prosperity's sort of like financial pillars, right? So the cattle trade is probably the top, and I would say that the Painted Frontier is like right under that. Here you can find the soiled doves and the sporting gents, doing their thing. All races, all genders, catering to whatever needs an adult patron may or may not have. It sort of has this like rivalry with the On the Trail Saloon, the franchise place that's not too far away, but this is where the real mud is, you know what I mean? So this is a place that has a lot of power. So that's the kind of vibes you're getting from here, Bishop. Yeah, I should mention that it's a big place too. It's large, sprawling, one story. It's kind of like a ranch style affair. And again, you can see all sorts of people here. Piano player is in the corner, dancing his fingers over the keys, just sort of feeling it. You can feel the floor moving from is it the tapping of his foot? Is it the rocking of something else somewhere here in this place? But there is a rhythm and you're feeling it.
So Bishop's introvertness is coming out right now. And even though he was super excited to go to the brothel, he's currently outside of the brothel looking in through a window. And he sees his first pair of boobies and peepees, and he's immediately just like staring and is like too scared to move or too shy and doesn't have the courage to go in yet.
Okay. Yeah. And again, you're seeing sort of all sorts of people sort of moving about of all social statuses too.
Addie, after sending him out, takes slight pity and comes out, just puts her hand like on his shoulder and said, "Interesting place, isn't it?"
It is. It's so many veins as he like just kind of like looks over and then like looks down at the ground and he goes, maybe I should go to the other place.
No, I think you need to go in here. It's good research on top of everything else. I'm just saying.
Right. As he just looks down at the ground completely
There's
mortified.
no ants. I mean, well, there's no insect ants. There could be somebody's ant in there for all I know, but
It's easier. It's fiction's easier than reality. As he just like, do you walk in or do you?
she would kind of gently put pressure on his shoulder, but if she feels a lot of resistance from him, she's not going to push it.
No, he won't. He won't resist. And he'll, with assistance, go in and hear the tunes and take in the sights and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So the tunes are playing, and you see a lot of people here. It's like with the sheer amount of people that are in here, somebody has to know something related to the robberies. Somebody has to know something. So I mean, it's just the probability right now. With your gambling fair and cards, you know a thing or two about probability, even if magical. So I'll give you that.
I think he'll definitely resort to what he knows best in the situation. And if I see people, like if he sees people gambling in the area, then he will take an empty seat and sit down to like have an objective and a focus. That way he can process better.
All right, you sit down with this one older man. He's a black man. He has a wide mustache that goes down to like a little goatee. He has a big sort of muscled arm he puts down on the table. He's saying, looking to play a game?
Yeah, absolutely. Unless you want your fortune read.
Fortune? Oh, you're a fortune teller, huh?
I am.
Oh, interesting. All right. Well, we could do that. We could play a little game. We got poker, dominoes. There's blackjack in here. The real games are played over here. That inn that's down the road. This is the place. You come to the right place here.
Okay, cool.
Right,
Dominoes.
yeah.
Let's do that.
Indeed. May I have a gambling call from you?
Yes.
Let's see how we're doing here. I'm
gonna needed 65, which is like a super high one, and I got a 75.
Oh, okay. Remember, do you have any jacks stored up?
I don't think so. Do we automatically get some, or do we like get it throughout the session?
You gotta earn them. You gotta get them. It's kind of the gambling of rolling our dice as we do it anyway. So yeah. He sort of easily like bests you at this game. It's just sort of like laughs you off. He's like, I thought I was playing with somebody. Well, I mean, there's more people to play with around here, so I think I might find somebody else that might know better what they're doing.
I have $5. How much did he take from me?
Let's say you're just playing for like a little bit of change. We're not going to track the money here. Just something small and inconsequential.
Okay. He'll just be
there's a very firm hand on the gentleman's shoulder as he tries to stand up.
Hey. Oh, I've never seen you around here before.
It's not very good sport to get up after one game and not give the gentleman a chance to win his money back.
You saying I should play him again?
I'm suggesting it.
I have more money as he like.
Bishop, please be quiet. Just play the game.
Oh, can I have some sort of social role? One of your personality skills, Adeline.
I love Bishop as Kelly, but he's making life difficult. I failed because I did style wouldn't be the thing I would roll, right? It would be gambling, wouldn't it?
Oh, if you're wanting to gamble, you could, or you could use sort of like convince or
convince. Yeah,
ingratiate.
I clicked something I was already hovering over.
That's
we're
okay. Yeah, no, style wasn't really.
I was gonna say that's the thing. Let's try
I-
convince. I still failed. By
I do
what?
have a high bluff, so I could say like I have a lot more money and just try to like bluff him.
Please.
Don't fail, please. I have not had a successful roll.
I was just trying to
entire game.
intimidate somebody, honestly.
Yep, there it is. I can use my real dice. Jesus.
You know what? I think everything hates us. You know, I'm just why isn't there just an intimidation thing in here?
The guy is looking at y'all. Oh, well, there is an intimidation. It's under your physique skills.
Oh. Nope, still failed.
It's like, let me try it.
You know
We're
what?
like
We're done. We're done with the gambling.
This guy's shaking his head. He's
You know
moving
what?
on up.
Why don't you get up and take your 25 cents and just go?
Wait, no, take my money. As he like
He takes
Put your
it.
money away.
Nah.
Oh,
So
God.
with this sort of interaction falling apart, I mean, maybe this guy knew something about an organized bandit crew with Southern accents and the same gun. Maybe not. Maybe he was just there to have a good time. Maybe he's just there for sport, you know, maybe just there to gamble. Who knows? Elsewhere in the town, a flyer has been picked up. So I'm going to drop a little handout to you all. Show the players. Boom. All right. So there is this. Can you see this? It reads,
sure
wanted.
can.
Dead or alive. Bounty for gang. Cash reward $1,000. Approach with caution. Dangerous and always heavily armed.
Huh. Yeah, so I think Sean like picks this up and like picks it off the post, I think, to read it fully. All right. And we'll fold it up into her pockets as she makes her way over to wherever the mayor's hanging out.
Yeah. So that would be at the town hall. That's the mayor's sort of domain.
Yeah. And I think this just, walks right in as if, had been invited. Definitely not, just as if part of the town. No big deal.
Well, as you try to do that, there are two deputies sort of posted up right outside, one black, one white. They have shotguns and pistols. They're stationed here. And they just kind of halt you. Hey, what's your business here?
Oh, well, just looking to get some more information on the happenings around here regarding
Happenings? What
See.
happenings?
the ones that you already know about, the series of robberies.
Robberies. Oh, please come in.
Yep.
So it's like the demeanor shifts as soon as you say robbery. So like, yes, please come inside. You are escorted into this moderately sized meeting room on the second floor. There's an open window here, a wooden table with probably a dozen chairs. It's like the room sort of eats you alive as you come inside of here. Let's see. 1 second. All right. Yes. Oh yeah. I'm looking at this this message from Adeline here in our little chat. That reward is equivalent to $21,430 today.
Which is not anything to sneeze at.
So as you're in this room, there's a dozen chairs, as I mentioned. There's a pitcher of warm well water off to the side, some cups and everything. And then after about 10 minutes of you sort of, sitting there waiting for something to happen, the council comes inside. It's a council of 5 people. Again, this is like a very multicultural place. They sit on the opposite side of the table from you. They sit quietly watching as the mayor comes inside here too. So the mayor is Sojourner Hurston. She's a Black woman in her mid-40s. She definitely carries like a sort of power with her as she comes into the room, as she looks at you. She looks you sort of up and down at first, but seeing that you're a person of sort of heroic bearing, gives you an understood nod and a smile. Would you like to give me a psychology roll?
Sure. Let's see if I have anything in that. Yes, I do. Let's give that a go. Nope. I'm gonna use a jack to. I'm gonna use a few jacks on this.
Okay.
I can.
Jack to succeed?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So take one jack away. So as you do that, you're sort of piecing together here that they have you sort of in this sort of secluded room for a reason. It's like in this town, they really have this sort of air of like, happy-go-lucky. As I mentioned, hope is the operative word here. Positivity. Any sort of tension or disagreement, they're handling that away from prying eyes. They're handing that away from the public. They're having that behind closed doors. It's to sort of keep the morale of the town up. And that's something that you piece together from the way they kind of came in real quiet. It's just you. Nobody else. The deputies are outside. They're guarding who comes in the town hall itself. And you're piecing that together before Mayor Hurston even begins to speak. Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so as that as she gives me that little nod, and I am kind of seeing that this is the vibe here. Cozy little gathering you got here.
Yes, indeed. So, I mean, we could do the dance, or we could just come directly to the point. Which would you prefer?
I mean, as much as I like a good dance, it seems like this is $1,000 is nothing to dance about.
Of course. Yes. She gives this like little political smile on her face. Of course, that money is correct. But of course, proof is required, preferably the living ringleader and anyone aiding in his plot to stand trial. But dead is also fine. She looks over to the other council members. They all nod in agreement with the dead part. Are you the person for this task? Are you operating alone?
Do I look like I travel alone around these parts? No. I've got a couple of more than capable friends.
Oh, okay. You're sharing this bounty if you do receive it with them.
Of course.
Listen, I don't judge. It's just us here. I'm just asking so we know, who to pay.
Yeah, I think that Sean, I mean, we all do some equal work around here, but we'll see how the cut all falls down once we get to payday.
Okay. All right. We just don't want any drama, any sort of, tension or disagreements with your group and ours. We have enough problems with these robberies. We just want to make sure that whoever's up for the task can do it without stress.
We'll sort it ourselves. Don't you worry.
Okay. All right. Well, that sounds wonderful. Do you have any questions for me? Any things that we can help with?
Right. Well, all of you seem very insightful, capable people, being the leaders of this here thriving town. Is there anyone who seems, I wouldn't want to say this, but suspicious around here? Anyone who seems a little not as devastated by the prospects of prosperity no longer being on the railway?
The mayor turns to the council, just kind of looks. There is Stephanie Wayne. She is in her late 30s. She's a white woman. She has sort of like this shorter, blondish hair, green eyes, and a very angular face. She thinks for a second. Well, we don't have any leads other than just a search of the surrounding areas. There's not really anybody in town that we can think of that might be doing this, but
You got any particular directions these robbers tend to go in and out from? Us when we ran into some on the train, they headed up northwards, but north is a very general direction.
Yes, north is a very general direction. But if we're just sort of calculating everything here, north would make sense. But our sheriff, he did a search of the immediate area a few hours around the town, including north, and didn't really find anything. So they could be based sort of just outside of that.
That could be. I mean, it's my first time being Prosperity. Is there any great places for hidey holes? Any abandoned mines? Any canyons? Any valleys? Any cave systems? Just,
Let me roll really quick.
Button.
Okay. So there is Porter Wright, a black man. He's sort of very large. He barely fits into the chair that's there. He has like sort of these like big muscles that's under his striped shirt there. The vest is on top of that, kind of open beard, and a very solemn look on his face. There are sort of cave systems that are outside of the town. There could also be some old military outposts that are still standing too. Now, the war is a few years removed, but not all of these things came down. Now, that's a good observation. It could be in some sort of cave system. That could be the base. Keep your eyes open.
They gotta be
caves
somewhere.
Yeah, that is very true. Very true indeed.
And how frequently are these robberies happening? If we were to make an estimate.
All the time, far too often. The Union Pacific representatives, they are getting very nervous, and so are we.
Rightfully so. I mean, there was a close one earlier today. But,
Yes. Earlier today.
Yeah. You know how I said that my friends and I are fairly capable? There was a robbery earlier on that train we were trying to take to head over here, and chased them off. So
you stopped them?
Well, my friend did, and I just took a gander to see where they went.
Well, perhaps we need to talk to your friend.
I think, she's the one who sent me here, so I think I can speak for all three of us.
Okay, yeah. Well, do you have any more questions for any of us here?
I can't think of anything right now, but if I have any further questions, give your deputies out there an understanding that I'm welcome to come ask.
Anybody that can stop this is more than welcome.
All right. Well, and she'll lift up her flask and like a little cheers in there. I'll go relay that information over to my friends, and we'll see what we can get out of that. So, do you have any supplies that you could provide us? Hard journey coming over here.
They all look at each other and then back to Hurston. Hurston says, "The bounty is what we can do, is what we're willing to offer. That's after the job is done."
All right, fair enough. I guess we should be giving our money to local businesses anyways.
Speaking of local business.
Speaking of that,
Back at the Painted Frontier.
Addie looks down at Bishop and says, "I'm going to set the Whisper Network in motion that there's a fortune teller here. So why don't you look mystical and sit here and get ready to tell some fortunes.
You got it. And then he sits down at a table and immediately puts on his powder and like has his like little mirror. Yeah.
So I would whisper to a couple people, but I'm scanning the room to see if I can find the proprietor, proprietess, or other of this house of repute.
Yes, cool. Please give me an I would say observation. Seems to be a common one here. I like an observation roll.
Okay.
Yeah, observation, yeah. Or deduction. Okay, that
I succeed and I get an extra jack, so I got 3 jacks now.
Nice. As you're looking around the room, you're noticing one person who seems to be just engaging with a lot of people. They seem to be like the center of attention, but it's in sort of like a managerial way. Like they're checking in with people, or people are familiar with this person. This is Madam Callie, a very beautiful Black woman in her late 20s. You see her there. She is just like dressed in this red get up. And just sort of, checking on everybody, making sure everybody has what they need. Everybody, is just being entertained. But again, they're busy. Like they're just constantly swarmed with people around. What do you do?
I would casually make my way, like so it doesn't look like a direct beeline. Casually here and there, whispering, "Did you hear there's a fortune teller over by the door?" Kind of things as I walk across the room, until I get up near to Madame Callie and see if she is speaking to anybody that is not affiliated with the place.
So here's the thing. She's speaking to everybody that's not affiliated with the place. It's one of those things where like she's talking to people that work there, people that don't work there. It's sort of just like small talk, like, how you doing? Welcome in. What can I get you? Who can I point you towards? That kind of thing. And her eyes even make her way to you as she sees you walk in. Hey, how you doing? Let me know if there's any way that I can help you. Madam Callie, it's my name. Well,
actually, I could probably use your help. You seem like you know what's going on around here.
This is my place. I know everything that goes in and out of the painted frontier. I even know about that little fortune teller operation you said about 30 seconds ago, right over there. I seen it.
He's harmless.
He's cute.
He's adorable. Just don't ask to read his journal. Just trust me, don't ask to read his journal.
Does she want to read my journal?
Listen, I wouldn't want anybody reading my journal, so I'm gonna keep my nose out of anybody else's.
So, I was just wondering, who happens to be most requested?
Most requested? Oh, Tiny. But Tiny is booked up for a couple of months, I would say. But the railroad will probably be done by the time that Tiny is available. I apologize.
Is Tiny out here right now?
No, Tiny's hard at work. But who else do we have here? And she looks around the room.
And Addie recalculates. Who is your most requested of your more, well, let's just say notorious, but affordable to the more common person?
Now, that sounds like a job for Tasha. I think Tasha's bit. Tasha, yeah, I would say Tasha. Now, Tasha's sweet and everything, but she gets some dogs. Some dogs. Yeah. This one unruly customer came in and they didn't want anybody but Tasha. He seemed to enjoy it. He had this like southern accent that kept coming out. It was like nails on a chalkboard to hear, honestly. But anyway, so Tasha even took care of him, made sure he was happy.
He didn't hurt her, did he?
No.
I assume you run a safe establishment
I
for
do,
your workers.
and I can take care. Yes, of course.
I am sorry. I'm so rude. My name is Adeline. It's lovely to meet you.
Again, Callie.
Yes, possibly I'd like to see what Tasha's rates are.
For sure. $3 is sort of like what is sort of quoted to you as Callie pulls out like a little notepad.
All
How's it
right.
over to you?
Adeline reaches into a pouch that she has and pulls out $4 and passes it over to Madame Callie. Take the extra as maybe a thought between us that you could pass me along any interesting information that you might hear. You
He
know,
nods.
groups of men traveling about and all that.
All right, darling. She says.
Now about Tasha.
Yes. So she sort of gestures you over to where you're able to meet Tasha. Bishop is able to join. And Shang, are you also coming along? Are you making your way back here?
I think I'm making my way back. So I think I am seeing the end of this conversation, and I, raise a brow, and I think Bishop is being left by himself over to the
I
side.
would see Shung across the way and be like, and I just like wave out the door.
Yeah, and so I'll just walk over to him and be like, you stick out a little bit.
But I think I'm doing a good job blending in as he wears his vibrant purple suit.
I mean, I think that she looks over at the brothel workers and their more colorful clothing because that's what you'd be wearing to attract attention.
Mhm.
I mean, I think maybe you do fit a little bit in.
Is he getting anybody that's coming over and asking for their fortune told?
Do you want your fortune? I can tell you. Oh,
Okay, I gotta give Bishop another roll. Like we gotta get them jacks popping.
You know
up
what?
for Bishop.
What I'm gonna do is thinking that nobody like Bishop tries to get somebody's attention, they walk away. So we'll go. I mean, I have never seen anyone with such insight, like someone quite like you. And she's speaking very loudly. She is putting on a show to try to bring in attention to her buddy here, and try to.
is there an insight check? Otherwise, I'm gonna be like, why are you yelling? You know me.
Yeah,
I feel like if you start saying that, Shell will just very, very carefully put her hand over your mouth for a second.
Gotcha. Yeah, so there is if you're wanting insight, it's like I believe that's the psychology here. If I can find it.
We'll say
Yeah.
he's slow on the take and he doesn't realize it, and then she puts like her hand over him and he's like, got it.
All right, cool. So what would you like to use in order to sort of, do that to get sort of, that going on?
This is a good question. I'm trying to figure out if I'm trying to convince people to do this or if I'm if I'm lying to people. I mean, how legit is this fortune telling? Like, how legit is it in?
It's pretty legit. It's a 67 out of 100 legit.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So this. I think this is conventional. This is you trying to actually bring people in, to make her buddy feel better. Oh, that's rough. Christ. I still have jacks floating, so may I use that because I feel bad otherwise.
Sure.
Cool.
Spin that jack.
That's all. I think that's pretty much all my jacks.
Okay. All right. Cool. So as you do that, again, now crowds are sort of, moving on over with this newfound attention. Bishop has clientele of his own in this brothel. Fortune telling, as even the employees here are sort of coming over. They're sort of pushing each other out of the way. Hey, it's my turn, my turn. No, you can wait. You're just hearing all of these sort of things as you're sort of crowded around.
And Shang is casually pocketing any of the money that's being paid.
Very
You
nice.
got paid? Yeah.
Yeah, it's literally like at the end of it, like Shang is just counting the dollar bills that came in.
Yeah.
Adeline has gained an audience with Tasha. Tasha, late 30s, Mexican woman, dark hair, big dark eyes. She's sort of like a smaller of frame. 1 second. Okay. She's smaller of frame as she listens to you before asking, okay, what did they sound like? These robbers?
Oh, I don't think we should have such a private conversation down here. Do you not have a room that we could go to?
Oh, yeah, I should specify. Yes, this is
Okay,
in a
good.
room. Sorry.
I was like,
this is a-
no
Yeah.
good.
yeah.
Yes, definitely Adeline, once up in the room, would have clarified that while Tasha is a very beautiful woman, that's not what she's here for. Yeah, they it was kind of odd. Bandanas, rough, southern accents, matching guns.
Oh, wow.
About 20 of them.
Well, there is this one man, and I've seen him 4 times. He comes by once a month. The first time he didn't smell so bad, and he had this really dark tan. But those first few times, he was more interested in learning about the town, asking about the sheriff, the people, than me.
Mm.
And I confessed to the local reverend, who told me to keep silent, just pray that I didn't get anyone killed. But I figured he might have something to do with that.
The Reverend told you to keep silent.
Yeah, he comes here all the time.
Well, I mean, that's a given.
Yeah. But I don't want to get anybody hurt.
No, we're trying to prevent people from getting hurt. Although I may have hurt your friend. Not sure which one he was.
She looks at you, looks back down, looks outside. Night has fallen on Prosperity. This is a safe haven for a lot of people. It's a safe haven for you for now. For now. Outside of Prosperity, closer and closer forces are moving in. Stockpiles of goods stolen on the railway are growing. And there is a ritual chant that is being enacted. There is this necrotic green glow that crackles and sort of pulses within the confines of. Now, if I told you what it was, that might be a spoiler. But all you watching at home, I don't want to spoil the very next episode of Haunted West. You'll just have to tune in next time. The episode is sort of running back to back with this one, but oh no, it seems to be storming outside of your house. Lightning is crackling, the rain is pouring down, and the signal on your television is fading out. That's all for now. We'll be right back tomorrow. And that's the game for this evening. All right. Thank you all for playing with me. What a great time.
That was super fun. Yeah, that was super good.
Hope you had fun too. Yeah. Cool. So as we're wrapping up here, please, we're just going to go ahead one more time. Say who you are and where people can find you on the internet. DeAngelo?
Yeah, my name is DeAngelo Murillo. You can find me on all social media at @that_DeAngelo. I am a writer, a game designer, and a event organizer trying to do whatever I can to help out our community with diversity and inclusion. And this is amazing. Thank you for having me. Yeah.
Happy to be here. Next up, Kienna?
Yeah, I'm very excited for next episode as we are left on a cliffhanger. But until tomorrow, you can find me over on Twitter at Kienna S. Best way to figure out what I'm doing. I do a lot of TTRPG stuff, whether that's writing, designing, or curating the TTRPG Safety Toolkit.
Yes. Wonderful. Last but not least, who we got down there, Kelly? Where can people find you?
Hi, I'm Kelly. I'm mostly known as the Opera Geek for the simple reason that I'm a professional opera singer who is also a terrible, terrible geek. You can find me at the Opera Geek on Twitter, and also here tomorrow, and also at Redacted in a few weeks. Not sure when I can tell you about that, but hopefully soon.
Awesome. And again, my name is London Carlisle. You can find me on Twitter at London Carlisle. I'm an actor, TTRPG enthusiast, and I love running games. I love playing with these people. This was a load of fun, and I love this game in particular. I've had a great first time playing it. You just got to see my first time playing. All of our first time playings, I believe, right? Haunted West from here at Darker Hue Studios. This is a wonderful game. Make sure that you pick up a copy of this right here. You can have your own adventures in the Weird West. This is telling the truth of the Old West, and we are here for it. Until next time, we hope you have a wonderful evening.
Wanted to wake up and smell the coffee? Well, now you can with this next sponsor, Found Familiar. Get yourself some damn good coffee at foundfamiliar.com and use the code on the screen to get 15% off. What do you mean I can't drink coffee? What the fuck is felt? And we couldn't end this segment without talking about our good friends at Die Hard Dice. That's right. As a Dice affiliate, we are proud to partner with Die Hard Dice to bring you only the best in shiny click-clacks. Click-clacks? What is... Ow. You can check their ever-growing collection over at dieharddice.com and use the link below to get 15% off. You're putting this all on me? I better get a cut.